Today we are running my flute through the Digitech RP55. It is a fairly simple, very budget multi-effects unit, and it lets me take my flute and turn it into all sorts of crazy. So without further ado, let's get this plugged in and off we'll go. First up, we have what I would describe as kind of being like an ambient pitch shift. It is sound number 36 on the pedal, and it has been called by the makers of the pedal acoustic fifths. Such a great echo. Sound number 2 is what I would describe as being kind of like a delay, but the makers of the pedal decided to call it triplet chunk, and it is number 36 on the pedal. It's actually kind of like a delay with a little bit of distortion, but that's okay. Let's move on to sound number 3. I have got kind of described as being sort of like a chorus, but they have decided to call it 20 fathoms, and it is sound number 26. Way too much fun. You can definitely hear the chorus effect in there, as well as a lot of delays and a couple of other things. Moving on to sound number 4. This is still made by the one pedal. I have described the sound as being like a pitch shift. The pedal makers have said that it is called pedal still, and it is preset number, wait for it, 33. Many interesting things happening with that one. Sound number 5. I should probably also mention that this pedal that we're using actually has 40 sounds built in, and I've just kind of picked 10 that I think show a good range of what this tiny little box is capable. So, song number 5, I just wrote down distortion, and the makers of the pedal decided to call it power flange. It is preset number 14, and it's a little crazy. Very much a distorted flute with a little bit of echo. We are now going to briefly interrupt this video with the duck. The duck is my supervisor, and he thinks you should totally subscribe because it helps to keep all the YouTube ducks happy. Bloop, 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 bloop. Sound number 6, I'm going to describe as being kind of like an envelope filter. The makers of the pedal have called it crunchy phase, and this is preset number 6. Yeah, so in order to kind of hear the filter sweep, as I just discovered, you have to like sustain a note and it kind of gradually changes the sound quality while you sustain it. If you play fast, it kind of sounds a little bit like a very subtle distortion, I suppose. Okay, we are moving on in the world. Sound number 7. Yes, I threw this in. I haven't really categorized this one. I've pretty much just called it my favorite sound. It's the one I used a lot in my earlier compositions for flute and pedals, and it just has this really kind of beautiful, ethereal, subtle sound. It's like a really short delay with maybe like a bit of a shimmer reverb thrown in. I really enjoy it. The makers of the pedal, if I glance down at my notes, they have called it acoustic chorus. Okay, sound number 8. Yes, this, me and the maker of the pedal have categorized this as the same sound. I've called it a wah, they've called it an auto wah. It is preset number 19. It is a fun one, and as you could hear, it does also have a delay on it because this is a multi-effects pedal, so each of these patches is actually a combination of effects. I'm just kind of pulling out ones that kind of dominate the patch to tell you a little bit more about them, I suppose. Okay, sound number 9 is that one. Having dyslexia is amazing. It makes reading filming notes so easy. So thank you for bearing with me. Sound number 9, I have categorized as weird, and they have called it whammy time. And it is preset number 17. I don't think I've ever actually used that sound for anything, but it's one of the really weird ones. Though, well, at least on the flute, it sounds really weird. So I thought, I'd throw that in for the sake of it. That means we are up to sound number 10. Now, this one, yes, this particular pedal actually has heaps and heaps of distortion sounds in it. So this is another distortion sound. They've called it Fuzz Church. And this sound is going to highlight a common problem that flute players will have with this pedal. It is preset number 7. So, yes, it sounds okay, but it's a very unstable sound. So at the start, you heard me play a bit, then stop, play a bit, play, stop, play, stop, play, stop. But whenever I stopped, we were hearing sound in between our sounds. And that sound is actually a Flautisworth's nightmare. It is feedback. At the moment, it wasn't too bad because I'm using headphones. But if you happen to be performing in a venue like a school gym, for example, which I did with this pedal and epically regretted it because half the sounds on it I couldn't use because it's too sensitive. So all the distortions feedback. You could go in and play with the settings and probably adjust it to be a little bit less so, but you'd have to kind of do that at every venue you go to. So on that sense, it wasn't practical. So it is no longer on my board. But otherwise, it's a really great, really cheap budget pedal that will let you produce a lot of really, really weird sounds. Now, if you're wondering how I plugged my flute mic into the pedal, I have another video that'll walk you through how you can do a very similar thing. It will be appearing up on one of these somewhere around the screen. Thank you for spending 10 minutes hanging out with me and my crazy duck supervisor. Don't forget to subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys all in another video.